Another Hex video recording. We are looking at a new deck, and it is focused around the community requested build around card, Crazed Rummaging. It's 1 mana, basic action, ruby. Each champion draws 3, then discards 3 at random. Now, this card is interesting. I really like the design. It's very reminiscent of something like Desperate Ravings or Faithless Looting from Magic. Those cards are traditionally good in decks that are either reanimator decks that are playing out of the graveyard, or decks that can take advantage of the mechanic in some form or fashion. Now, Hex doesn't really have anything like that yet. We have cards that, can take advantage of the graveyard a little bit, but there's really nothing playable yet. The reason this card's not good, unless you're using it to take advantage of graveyard interaction, is it's inherently card disadvantage. You spend a card to draw 3, discard 3. You actually don't end up with anything else in your hand. You had to give up a card to then trade 3 cards at random. You don't draw a card at the end. It's not like it says, 1 mana, each champion draws 3, discards 3 at random, and then draw a card. Then it would at least replace itself. This guy is just losing you a card out of your hand for the advantage of making each yourself and your opponent draw 3, discard 3. So when would you want this if you couldn't take advantage of it of using it in some sort of a graveyard interaction? Well, Cerebral Fulmination helps fill up your hand. If you are drawing cards at a rate that's just greater than you can use them up, then maybe there is some advantage in, having your opponent discard and then redraw. Maybe you play it on turn 1, they kept a good hand, and now their hand doesn't look so good. Maybe you have dead cards. Maybe, Heat Wave is just dead against them. Maybe you're playing against a creatureless deck. So you wouldn't mind necessarily discarding it at random. With Archmage Renlock, Crazed Rummaging is also not terrible, and now gives you that draw card, so at least it's not disadvantage. It's breaking even. I don't know. I'm not sure the card's good. I'm willing to give it a shot, though. The rest of the deck is all the cards that I like in Sapphire and Ruby, and then 4 Bottle Vitae. I feel like Bottle Vitae is just one of those cards that either you're playing it right now and you're not having troubles drawing sources, or you're not playing it and you can't figure out why you're never drawing what you need. Well, there's really not a whole lot of options. I'm not sure if it's a randomizer issue, if people are just underplaying sources in their decks. I don't know. I'm certainly not underplaying sources in most of the decks that you see me play, but at the same time, I run into the same problems everyone else is. So I've taken to just running 4 Bottle Vitaes as often as possible and basically playing a 56 card deck to try to get through my cards a little faster. We talked about Cerebral Fulmination, we talked about Crazed Rummaging. Crimson Clarity lets you power out your cards a little faster. When you're drawing extra cards with a Cerebral Fulmination and you just can't play them all fast enough, Crimson Clarity is awful nice. It also plays nicely with Demolition, which could just win you a game. Turn 1, they play a source. Turn 2, they play a source. Turn 3, they don't draw their 3rd source. You Crimson Clarity, demolish on your turn 2, and that could just be the end of the game. Who knows? Now, we're not really putting any pressure on them, but it lets us set up our cards a little bit. Heat Wave, I don't love it. I mean, it's okay. You could definitely get a 2, 3, 4 for 1 on this card, so we'll try it out. Very powerful. It's a reprint of Pyroclasm, which is a staple Magic card for its for the life of the card, basically. And Demolition is basically just a Stone Rain. These cards have all seen play, so I'm sure they're good. Ragefire, if you're going to draw through your deck and you want some either removal or a way to randomly kill your opponent, seems like the right choice. Archmage we discussed. Chronic Madness is an alternate win condition here. I'm not sure if it's alternate or main. I'm not really banking one way or the other. But if I'm Cerebral Fulminating and Crazed Rummaging, I suppose we'll power through our deck fast enough to make our opponent not have a lot of cards left, so that seems good. Oracle Song is strong. I don't know if it's going to be what I want to do on turn 3 all the time, so we're just going to run 3 for now. I put 23 sources in. I probably should put one more in, but our curve is actually really low. And we have 4 Vitays, 3 Oracle Songs, so I'm going to try it out with 60. Now, the champion is a little bit tougher. I'm not really wanting to fully commit to the mill strategy, so I'm not sure if I want Nin, which is a mill champion. If we can get 3 activations of Nin, that would be 6 charges, and they would mill 6 cards. Basically, it becomes 1 charge to mill 1 card. That's the rate here. Mill 1 card for 1 charge. Of course, you can't do it in intervals of 1. You need to do it in intervals of 2. 2 charges buries 2 cards. But, break it down. Divide it up into its basic components. 1 charge is 1 card off the top of their library. Then you look at something like Wyatt. 6 charges, draw a card. Now, this becomes every 1 charge is a 1/6 of a card that we get to draw. How good is this? If we never make it to turn 6, we never get to draw a card, assuming we didn't power out an early bottled Vitae. What if that 1 card we draw is our 3rd copy of Chronic Madness? Now, instead of milling 6 cards for 6 charges, this 1 extra draw just milled 3, 6, 12 cards. You're getting double the rate on it. Is that something we're interested in? No idea. I'm not sure how hard we're going to want to push the mill versus getting through our deck powers. My intuition tells me that milling 6 cards is not going to be as vital as blowing through our deck and getting extra Chronic Madnesses off in general. Could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. I have no idea. My intuition tells me that Wyatt is probably better. Now, we do have other options. Blaze Elementals don't really seem like they're going to do it for us. We play no usable troops really for this. I mean, Archmage, but whatever. Same deal. Nope, that's not going to do it either. And then a Worker Bot. I'm not really sure we're in the market for a Worker Bot. And last time I used Tetsat, he was bugged. He didn't even work. And I'm not going to bother trying him out. Oh, there is one other card I wanted to put in. Gargoyle. Yeah. Oh, no, he's white. We can't put... he's diamond, excuse me. This would be a nice guy to have just to shuffle back in something that we lose that we kind of want. But it turns out he's not an artifact troop like he probably should be. He's diamond. So our deck looks complete. We have Wyatt. We have our 60. Let's give it a shot. This is the deck tech, so you're going to have to come back and watch the next video on its own set. So join me back. Oh, the name of the deck is Madinate. It's a play off of the Trogdor Burninate theme, where we're not really trying to burninate them, we're trying to chronic madinate them. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to go with it, though. So, yeah, we'll see you back for gameplay videos very soon.